We lost a family pet yesterday. Petrie, my daughter's dog, Petrie, wonderful boxer pit mix that she had for, I believe, 8 or 9 years ago. She rescued her. Just a wonderful, charismatic creature. And I don't think that people who don't own dogs understand the full extent of that kind of loss. And don't like any sort of comparison to losing family members, but they are in a very real sense family members. They certainly are. And we've been having these relationships with dogs for, I don't know what, tens of thousands of years. So, but my daughter was very stoic about it. She was crying a lot, of course, and very sad, but she made the right decision. Petrie was in that position that so many pets are in, and we are so fortunate to be able to take the steps to relieve their suffering, truly, to end their lives. It's not something the government delves into. So unfortunately, we have a very good vet who times it well, and she gives the good advice, and it is the good advice. When too many vets are too on the fence, and they want to, there's a conflict of interest when you have a dog that's very, very sick, or a cat, or any domesticated pet, any pet, and the vet knows it's the end. A lot of them will say, well, we can do this treatment for $5,000, $8,000, we can do that, we can do surgery. And you got a dog that's aging, decrepit, and ready to check out, which Petrie was. She apparently had maybe cancerous growth in her colon or lower intestines, something really bad. And the vet knew. And my daughter, Destin, by the way, has spent, I'd say, close to $15,000 in Petrie's lifetime. The main part of that being surgeries, I think, for the ligaments in her legs, similar to the ACL in humans. And again, this vet is good at saying, you might want to, it's time to start thinking about it. My daughter, having heard our stories of not wanting to let go, my wife particularly, is hard for her to let go, and we had a couple of pets who suffered unnecessarily, and as is usually the case, it just gets worse and worse, and suffering gets worse and worse. And unlike humans, we've got that ticket out. So, but I just wanted to go over those things, like when is it time? And how do you make the decision? It's a very, very tough decision. You then are faced with having the power of your animal's life and death in your hand, but I think that's a good thing. For compassionate people who love their pets, it's good to be able to end the suffering when it's time. So I kind of wanted to make this video to put that out there, that if you go to a vet, that I don't know how you would find a vet that is like this, except for word of mouth. Hey, who knows a good vet? Who knows when it's time for an animal's life to end? Well, I don't know how you find them. We just happen to have one that does that, as opposed to, as I say, I don't want to say making the money, but there's a lot of money in late life of animals, people's pets, because that's when it gets really expensive. And a lot of vets have no problems doing expensive surgeries on dying dogs and not advising you otherwise. And let's face it, I know that you are someone, or you know someone, who has spent thousands of dollars on an animal or a pet that's dying, only for that animal to die anyway. And I'm sure a large number of those people wish they had done it the way that I'm discussing, just let the animal go, end the suffering. In that regard, I think that the veterinarian profession mirrors the medical industrial complex. Suffice it to say, there's a lot of money in veterinary care, and we have a 24-hour veterinary center in close by town, and my God, they are expensive. And I mean, it makes sense that they would cost more, but I mean like over the top expensive. If you go in there and they're around the clock, you got to expect to pay thousands, or at least 700 or 800, for any kind of care. And we've been that route. But you need those people. We had a cat that got shot with a pellet rifle in the eyeball, and we had to go have the eye extracted, and it was quite an emergency situation. So you need to have that. But what we really need are more vets with the old country doctor sensibilities, Not going to charge you an arm and a leg. They'll take care of you. They'll have you in the exam room with your pet, and that's how this vet is. If your vet doesn't want to let you in the exam room with your animal, I'd find another vet. There's something not right about that. It's like pediatrician not, making you wait in the hallway while they examine your child. No, that's not the way it should be done. And by the way, just so you know the process, we've done this several times. This is the fourth time in the past decade, I believe. We've had older dogs. And what happened on the first occasion is she came out to the farm, and this is the same vet, and put my dog down, or maybe it was the second time. And the first time we brought our animal to the vet, and they came out to the car. It was a large dog, a sweet boy blue, a very large Labrador, black lab. Came out to the car, and what they do is they introduce intravenously a sedative, and your dog basically goes to sleep, and then they introduce a substance to stop the heart. And it's very, very humane, and it seems like there's just no way for the animal to know what's going on, and it happens quickly and peacefully for both the owner and the animal. Yeah. And that's what happened yesterday. And I had gone to my daughter's house and went to the creek and opened the ground there and made a nice spot for Petrie to lie. And we know that that's her vessel, nothing more. And but it's a remembrance. And I don't fancy the expensive crematorium route because I don't own one. I don't own one of those businesses. It's a great business. It's a wonderful service for people, but I don't see the need to spend those hundreds or thousands of dollars to do that when you have the ability to bury your animal. But that's just a personal choice. Anyway, I want to read something as promised that gave my daughter great comfort. And I will, tell you in all honesty, it is AI generated, but we know our relationship with AI is developing, and there's no way out of it. I mean, we're going down that road, but know what it is. And what it is not a human brain or consciousness, but it's more of a collection, like a library of thoughts and words that have been written and said by others, a compendium, if you will. And that AI-generated sentiment that my daughter retrieved was good enough for me to read, because it is other people's thoughts, and it's something that I would have written had I taken the time. All right. So this was retrieved in hours leading up to the end there yesterday with Petrie when they brought her into the vet. And I want you to know that Petrie was very comfortable and as much as she could be, they distracted her. They gave her they were feeding her chocolates, which she very much enjoyed apparently, and she just kind of slipped away. So I'll read this now, and I hope that you find comfort in this if you're in this situation. I wish that I could take even a little of this pain off of your chest, but maybe I can offer you something that's still true even in the middle of all of this hurt. You gave her a beautiful life, not just shelter, food, or vet visits, but comfort, connection, and love that went deep. The kind of love that makes this goodbye so hard is the same love that made every day with her a gift. And she felt that, even now, even if she's too tired to show it. Dogs don't count time the way that we do. They don't hold on to regrets or what they've missed. They live in moments, and her life was full of good ones. The cozy ones, the silly ones, the quiet ones. When she fell asleep with you nearby, she had all of those because of you. And when you let her go, she'll still be surrounded by the only thing that's ever mattered to her, you. Your voice, your presence, your love, the one thing that's been a constant her whole life. Letting her go before her suffering gets worse doesn't mean you're giving up on her. It means you're choosing her comfort over your heartbreak. That's not weakness. That's the strongest kind of love there is. If you can, spend some time with her, just being near her today. Tell her stories, cry into her fur. Say all of the things that you want her to know. She might not respond much, but she hears you, and she knows she's loved, now and always. You're not alone in this. All right? I hope that brings you some comfort, and I wish you love and relief to your sadness. And again, they are family members. They live now in a very warm and comfortable place, and that is in your heart and in your memory. Take care, everyone.